Do you know what was a good one?
No.
When you were on another planet and then you ended up getting together with another guy.
That was a good one. I enjoyed that a lot. Great answer.
When Clark and May were dancing was a good one.
My favorite romantic moment was seeing them getting dressed up. May was wearing that beautiful dress, and it might be the first time we see her laughing and smiling. I could have watched that for the hour, actually.
I really love the scene where Lincoln and Daisy are sparring, and it's kind of like they have like time off, and then of course it gets rudely interrupted by Dear Elizabeth. But that one was really cute. There's a lot of like really great chemistry in that one, and also we got to fight a little bit, so that was fun.
It's at the end of the framework story when it's a sad moment, but it's also romantic. It's the moment where Yo-Yo says to Mac that if he's staying in the framework, she's staying in the framework with him. I thought that was very, very sweet.
The most romantic moment would be them trapped at the bottom of the ocean.
It's also special because we wrote the scene, parts of the scene, or a version of the scene, just for auditions, just to see what they could do emotionally. And the two of them, when we put them together, I think everybody looked at each other and went, this is it, this is it.
I'll say my favorite romantic moment is episode 219, Dirty Half Dozen, where Daisy rescues Lincoln. It's like an amazing action moment. It's like crazy. She's shooting people, she's kicking, and then she rescues the boy and actually quakes his heart. So that to me was pretty romantic.
One of my favorite romantic moments is probably seeing Bobby Morse, aka Mockingbird, take a bullet for her ex-husband, Hunter.
From season 1, the very concept of Fitz's sandwich, when he's describing it to Ward and how meaningful it is to him and that Simmons is the only one that can make it right, you feel so much of the love and understanding that those two have, even when their relationship isn't at that level yet.
I think the most romantic was actually when Fitz shows up in the future and is standing behind Simmons, unaware that she can't hear him, and is professing his love and proposing to her. I thought it was just beautiful.
Even though it turned out not to be the real Melinda, just to finally get a kiss from a Melinda.
It was a nice special moment for Felinda fans and for us to be able to at least have a little romantic moment between these two characters. We're still waiting for the real kiss, though.
If she said someone other than Yo-Yo and Mac had the best kiss, I'm gonna be upset.
I did.
Who'd you say?
Phil and May. Felinda.
I love doing the May versus May fight because it was all about me. No, just kidding.
Ooh, there's a really special place in my heart for the one-shot fight sequence that the first one I did in season 2 that I shot with Kevin Tangerell. That was really, really fun.
I actually really loved the fight scene between Chloe and Brett. She has that moment where she screams or like really powers up. I loved that fight scene.
We really tried to design the way to shoot it so it wasn't too messy. We wanted to make every camera move match the action as perfectly as possible. So for me, that was my favorite.
The Lash versus Hive fight, where they're literally coming through the ceiling down to levels, down broken escalators. It was probably one of the largest scale fights we did.
Being that my roots are in the world of comic books, there was no greater fight than the Coulson Rider versus Ada fight. I mean, just Coulson turning into that flaming skull. Absolute golden awesomeness.
Favorite fight?
Quake in Prison.
I agree. Quake in Prison was pretty great.
My favorite fight is in season 5 when Daisy's up on the ceiling of the elevator and she comes down and there's oranges everywhere. So cool.
I like the introduction of Bobby because it was a combination of here's a person who we don't really know, oh, she has these batons, it's really cool.
To me, I think the coolest fight scene was season 4 finale, Ghost Rider, when he comes back and he drives his car in and there's Ada and her L&Ds and he comes out and he's kicking their butt and he's got this flaming kind of a chain whipping people around, and then Ada tries to shoot a shockwave at him and he turns into Ghost Rider. It was so cool.
My favorite fight scene was the fight scene between Quake and the Patriot. That fight was amazing. And do you know that they only had like, I think like a day to prep for that fight, and they killed it.
Seeing Ming getting beaten up, if that isn't good
By
enough,
me.
seeing two of them get beaten up by each other,
That's not
Is-
the reason I like it.
isn't it?
We got to have one of our badass fighters fight herself, so that was an easy fix. And she was also wearing a very fight-ready dress.
Not at all.
No.
It was a real challenge because I had to learn both sides of the fight, and I also had to fight in a silver dress as well as lingerie. So it was very exciting